Ways to support Teacher Ready. Under each video, join button, YouTube membership, click, select level. In the description, Discord, join, have fun. In the description also, Patreon, click, select level. In the description, donate, PayPal. Merch store, t-shirts. Email addresses in the description, and yes, I know I look like Bert Kreischer. What's good, Modern Retro Show fam? Teacher Ready back with another ERB reaction. Dr. Martin Luther King versus Gandhi. The Battle of the Pacifists. This should be absolutely phenomenal. So let's see. Winner, chicken dinner. Who would I pick in this one? I mean, I love Gandhi, but Dr. King has always been idol, a hero, just one of the most amazing human beings to have ever walked the earth. So I'm gonna have to side with Dr. King on this one, but as always, let's see, because I'm not usually very good with picking winners.
Martin Luther King versus Gandhi! You want to battle with? See who's a better pacifist? I fought the caste system, but you still cannot touch this. Slumdog Skillionaire, first name Messiah. Rap so hot, I spit yoga fire. Everything you—
Oh, damn! Oh, damn! The Street Fighter reference! Wow, I did not expect that one. Dalsum, son. When I was growing up, Street Fighter was I cannot even explain how huge Street Fighter was, man. There were lines around corners for that arcade game. But let's break down some of Gandhi's lines here.
You want to battle wits?
You want to battle wits to see who's a better pacifist. So both of them were pacifists. So pacifist meaning they try to achieve their goals of, again, for Gandhi, it was fighting the caste system in India for the civil rights of his people. In America, for Dr. King, it was the civil rights of the African-American community and race throughout the country. But they were both pacifists, meaning they tried to achieve these goals through non-violent means, meaning being passive, right? Pacifist. So they, instead of arguing, he said, we're going to battle wits. Since we can't use our fists, we're going to battle with our wits to see who's a better pacifist.
Who's a better pacifist? I fought the caste system, but you still cannot touch.
I fought the caste system, but you still cannot touch this. So the caste system in India goes back to ancient India. The caste system had been around forever. And the caste system is basically a social hierarchy. Similar to, like, you know, monarchy rules, like there were bloodlines, people were born into different occupations based on who their parents were, who their ancestors were. So it was not a means-based system, right? It wasn't where, hey, if you work hard, you can achieve anything. So Gandhi fought against this caste system because Gandhi was a very smart, educated, learned person, but just couldn't find a job because of his place in society. And the untouchables were the lowest class. So by saying you can't touch this, he's making a reference to the untouchable class, but also a reference to MC Hammer. Can't touch this. So he's saying, you can't even touch these lines I'm spitting, son.
Touch this. Slumdog Skillionaire, first name Messiah.
Slumdog Skillionaire. So that is a reference to a movie that came out a hot minute ago. I think Slumdog Millionaire came out like about 10, 12 years ago. But Slumdog Millionaire won the Academy Award, I believe, for Best Picture that year, which I think was pretty surprising. But also Slumdog Millionaire refers about an Indian kid and his dream to be on the TV show How to Be a Millionaire. What is it? The Millionaire Show with Regis Philbin, right? But he's saying because he's unemployed, he ain't got that money, he's got to use his skills. So he's a slumdog skillionaire, and his raps are so hot
Rap so hot, I spit yoga.
I spit yoga fire. Yoga fire is like the key move again from Dalsim in Street Fighter 2, who kind of looks like Gandhi, but that's cool. But he spits hot fire, meaning his rap lyrics are also fire. So, man, Gandhi's coming out hot.
Yoga fire, everything you preach. I said it first. You should jot down these words, plagiarize my whole word.
It's true. It's true. Dr. King was, again, also very learned, very intelligent, and had an amazing recall. His memory was absolutely amazing. One of the greatest writings of Dr. King, if you're ever interested, is read a letter that he wrote. It's called A Letter from a Birmingham Jail. And it was when Dr. King was arrested, one of the many times he was arrested for his nonviolent protests during the civil rights era. He was locked up, and he wrote one of the most amazing letters with absolutely zero reference. He didn't have books. He didn't have a library. He didn't have the internet. But just from recall, he was able to word for word quote all different types of leaders, but Gandhi was definitely someone that Dr. Martin Luther King admired greatly, especially for the work he was doing and success he had in breaking away from, again, fighting against the caste system, fighting against British rule in India. And Dr. King saw that as kind of the prototype for the civil rights movement in the United States. So he did quote a lot of Gandhi. He did use a lot of Gandhi's methods and techniques, but he also did use a lot of other people who influenced him in his fight for the civil rights. And of course, he had a lot of his own original ideas. But leave your thoughts at the door, like.
Everything you preach, I said it first. You should jot down these words, plagiarize my whole word. Leave your thoughts on the door like the real.
Yeah, leave your thoughts on the door like the real Martin Luther. So, Dr. Martin Luther King was actually born Dr. Michael. Well, sorry, he wasn't born a doctor. I'm just so used to saying the word doctor. He was born Michael King Jr., but his father changed his name when he was pretty young. I don't remember exactly when. But his father also changed his own name. So his father changed his name to Martin Luther King Sr., and then he changed his son's name to Martin Luther King Jr., and specifically for the admiration and the namesake of Martin Luther, who, of course, was famous for his 95 Theses, which he nailed to a church door. And it was basically all of his grievances against the Catholic Church. So he nailed his theses to the door. Theses, not feces. And so he's saying, Gandhi's saying, you should do the same thing, man. Just leave him at the door, like leave him behind, right? Nobody cares, because you're just plagiarizing everything I did.
Martin Luther, I'm not thinking you shall overcome this, Junior. I'm the king of civil rights.
I'm not thinking you should overcome this, Junior. So that is a reference. We shall overcome. That was a very, very popular hymn during Dr. King's rally and during the whole civil rights movements. They would use all different types of hymns. So we shall overcome and we shall overcome is definitely something that Dr. King a lot in his speeches. But he's saying he's saying what Gandhi just did is not something that he's going to overcome, and plus throwing the insult at him using his own name, Junior. Like when somebody says something, you're like, all right, Junior, whatever you want to say. All right, kid. See what Dr. King comes with. Gandhi came out hot, I got to admit.
The real Martin Luther, I'm not thinking you shall overcome this, Junior. I'm the king of civil rights from the city to suburbia. No shoes, no shirt, but I'm still going to serve ya.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. All right, that was dope. That was so dope. Oh, my God. I'm the king of civil rights, of course, using his name. Dr. Martin Luther King. I'm the king of civil rights.
King of civil rights from the city to suburbia. No shoes, no shirt, but I'm still.
No shoes, no shirt, but I'm still gonna serve you. God damn, that is the best line so far. Holy shnikes. So that's, a famous trope, like in restaurants here in America. They have little signs, no shoes, no shirt, no service, meaning you can't just walk in a restaurant barefoot and without a shirt. And it's also a famous scene in Fast Times at Ridgemont High with Sean Penn, where they have, no shoes, no shirt, no shoes, no service. No way. But he's saying, I'm still going to serve you even though you got no shirt, because Gandhi was famous. Gandhi would walk around in sandals and he wouldn't wear a shirt. But Dr. King is saying, I'm still going to serve you, but also the double entendre of, I'm going to serve you like you got served, right? Like, I'm going to own you in this one, son. Wow, Dr. King, making me proud.
Gonna serve Make you swallow your words so you can break the fast, and thank God Almighty you can eat at last.
Oh man, Gandhi getting hit. Gandhi getting hit. He's saying he's gonna make him swallow his words so he can break the fast. So Gandhi was famous in his protests for his, just like Dr. King had sit-ins. Gandhi would have sit-ins, but he would also not eat. He would not move from the place. Like, he would just literally just sit there and, again, not eat, not change his clothes, not shower, not nothing. And he's saying, I'm going to make you swallow your words so you can break the fast. And again, breakfast, that's where we get the word breakfast. Breakfast literally means to break fast. I'll make you swallow your words.
Swallow your words so you can break the fast, and thank God Almighty you can eat at last.
Thank God Almighty you can eat at last, which is also a play on thank God Almighty we are free at last. Free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty we are free at last. Famous quote, of course, from one of Dr. King's greatest speeches. But he said, you're going to eat at last.
I admire the way you broke the British power, but I have a dream that one day you'll take a shower. Like the H in your name, you ought to remain silent. Flatten your style like bread, non-violent.
Damn, son! Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
I admire the way you broke the British power.
I admire the way you broke the British power. So again, we discussed fighting the caste system, fighting British rule in India, which finally was broken. And they got Britain the hell out of there.
But I have a dream.
I have a dream, of course, referencing one of Dr. King, probably Dr. King's most famous speech during the March on Washington in 1962, when he gives the I have a dream speech.
Dream that
one day you'll take a shower. Because again, like I had mentioned during the sit-ins and his nonviolent protests, he would fast, he would not eat, but again, he would not shower. But also, because of his class and because of his poverty, he couldn't afford. A lot of people couldn't afford bathing. It wasn't like they had houses with indoor plumbing and everything else. But he's saying maybe one day you'll take a shower.
You'll take a shower. Like the H in your name, you ought to remain.
Like the H in your name, you ought to remain silent. Damn, that's another hot line. So Gandhi has an H in it. It's Gandhi, but the H is silent. So you say Gandhi, and he's saying you ought to remain silent, just like that H, son.
Silent, flatten your style like bread,
Flatten your style like bread, non-violence. God damn, that's brilliant. Flatten your style. So he's saying flatten it, and he's referring to bread, again, talking about food, and naan is a type of flatbread, which is delicious as all hell. It's a type of flatbread that's served in India and other places, but India, it's famous for its naan. Naan is, you never had naan bread? Hit up one of them Indian joints to get yourself some non-bread, but non-violence. Damn, that is brilliant. What a brilliant play on word.
You would know about bread, talk a burning ham sandwich. Boycott those grits, sit in with some spinach.
Ooh. Oh, damn. He just called Martin Luther King thick. He just said Dr. Martin Luther King looking thick, son.
You would know about bread.
You would know about bread.
Talk a burning ham sandwich. Boycott
Dr. Birmingham sandwich. Wow, Gandhi's getting gangster right about here. Look, he's got his crew with him too. He's saying boycott those grits. Of course, playing on, the boycotts. One of the most famous boycotts was the boycott that started with Rosa Parks refusing to give up her seat on a bus, and then became a over 1 year long boycott of African Americans using the buses in Alabama. And he's saying, but you should be boycotting them grits. Grits is a type of hot cereal, famous in the South especially. But grits are delicious, especially with some cheese, butter.
those grits,
Sit in with some spinach. So he's saying, yo, while you doing sit-ins, have a little spinach instead of some of them grits there. I could use some of that too. I should be having more spinach too. Dr. King looking thick.
With some spinach, with protestant women, the same advice goes.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Yeah. I didn't even think about that one. Yes. Dr. Martin Luther King, just like any person, just like, all of us, we're not perfect. Dr. King loved his women. Dr. King loved his women. So he's saying, yeah, sit in with some spinach. Wait, what did he exactly say?
Which boycott those grits, sit in with some spinach. With protestant women, the same advice goes. Always stay away from the home.
Wow. Okay. Best line now goes to Gandhi. I got to hear this one more time.
With protestant women, the same advice goes. Always stay away from the home.
Okay, that was definitely, if this was a boxing match, Dr. King just got knocked down, and he barely got up for that. He got up at like 8 on that one. That is a hard-ass line. Same advice for the protests, just like the women, stay away from the hoes. Whoo! So, hose refers, again, double meaning here. For the protests, of course, one of the most horrific things that happened during the protests that were actually aired live on television and turned American sentiment. Because finally, just like with the Rodney King beating, people across America were seeing what was happening. Not just hearing about it, but seeing it. And police officers were turning hoses on the African-American protesters, beating them in public, sicking German shepherds on them. So it was absolutely horrific to see, and it was all being televised in the late 60s. So he's saying stay away from the hoses, but also with the women, stay away from the hose. So this was something that was exploited by the FBI with J. Edgar Hoover in charge. J. Edgar Hoover was the director of the FBI for decades and decades and decades. And most people would say and argue that he was more powerful than any of the presidents that he served under. He was famous for having files on everybody. He had files on actors, on musicians, of course, political figures. He had pictures, audio recordings on so he had the dirt on everybody. And the big dirt that they got on Dr. King was the amount of affairs he was having. And he had a lot of them. And they used that to exploit him by, spreading the rumors. They even released some of the tapes to some of his followers to hear. And it turned sentiment against Dr. King a little bit, but it wasn't really long lasting because at the end of the day, his private life was his private life, and that was something between him, God, and his wife, as far as people were concerned with. But it did tarnish his reputation a little bit for being a womanizer. But thankfully, it also wasn't during the day and age of Twitter, and cancel culture, and everything else. Because Dr. King would have had some splaining to do, definitely.
I've got so much street cred, they write my name on the sides. I'd bring you for tech support, but I got a Nobel Prize.
That was cold. That was cold. So he's saying, I got so much street cred that they write my name on signs, which is true. Even in New York City here, we have, streets named after Dr. King, but there are streets and bridges and landmarks named after Dr. King throughout the entire United States. So he's using that, and that he's got street cred, that he's got cred with the people in the streets. But he said, I'd ring you for tech support, but I got a Nobel Prize. So that's making fun of Gandhi for being Indian. And a lot of the calls that we get from those tech support people and those scammer calls, a lot of them do come from India. And he's saying, I'd ring you for it, but I got a Nobel Prize. Damn. So Dr. King did win the Nobel Peace Prize. Gandhi was nominated for the Nobel Prize, but unfortunately he died the same year he was nominated. So that goes against Nobel rules. They don't give out posthumous awards. He's saying, I got a Nobel Prize. And I also love the fact Dr. Martin Luther King is in black and white while Gandhi's in color, even though Gandhi predates Dr. King by a long while. I wonder why they did that. Well, I guess because, yeah. I mean, a lot of Dr. King's speeches were in black and white, I guess, even though there was color. Time.
Nigga, we got more beef than one of your sacred cows, but I'm about to forgive you so hard right now.
I am passively resisting the fact that you suck. I am celibate because I don't give a fuck.
Oh. Well, I did not. That came out of nowhere. That last little. Wow. Wow. What a way to end it.
Support, but I got a Nobel Prize. Nigga, we got more beef than one of your.
Got more beef than one of your sacred cows. So say cows are sacred in India. So they're not eaten and they're respected, but also to have beef with somebody means we got problems, we got issues, we got beef, son. And he's saying we got more beef than one of your sacred cows.
Sacred cows, but I'm about to forgive you so hard right.
I'm about to forgive you so hard right now. I'ma forgive you so hard right now, my brother. He's saying he's a better pacifist. He's like, even though we got so much beef, I'm forgiving you so hard.
I am passively resisting.
I am passively resisting. Passively resisting was also the name of a soccer team in India at the time. I am passively resisting
The fact that you
suck. So he's saying I'm being an even better pacifist because you suck, man, and your whole verse sucked. But you know what? I'm still resisting it, and this last line is...
suck. I am celibate because I don't give a fuck.
I am celibate because I don't give a... Wow. Knockout right there. That was the knockout punch. I am celibate because I don't give a fuck. So being celibate means celibate, and Gandhi did practice celibacy, which is a stark dichotomy to Martin Luther King, who practiced anything but celibacy. But he's saying in being celibate, he doesn't have any F's to give. Wow. Why was...
I don't give a fuck.
Why was Gandhi going down? Wait, why is he going down? Why is he... Whoa. Why is he going down? Why is he going down there? What's going on down there? What's going on down there? Oh, damn. I guess we're celebrating Pride Month everywhere this month. But, yeah, I got to give that one to Gandhi. Definitely Gandhi. Not to say Dr. King was hot, Dr. King was fire, but I think Gandhi, Dr. King had the better flow, but Gandhi had the lines, the burns. I mean, they was sick. That's third-degree burn right there, man. Gandhi, definitely. So, yeah. Another one bites the dust for Eddie as far as picking winners. But again, we're all winners because ERB, I mean, these are probably the most favorite thing that I love doing on this channel. And again, speaking of the channel, I did start a separate channel for music reactions due to copyright issues. Thankfully, there are no issues when it comes to ERBs. So ERBs are staying on the main channel here. And speaking of staying on the main channel, if you want to support the channel, because I got, I'm trying to do it all, fam, but I need some help between Teacher Eddie Reacts, dadvice, starting a podcast soon, and the Discord. Got a lot on my plate, so appreciate any support that we can get. You can watch the beginning of the video. I give out everything, but links are in the description. And speaking of support, as always, going to shout out our Patreons who help keep things running here. I've been Teacher Eddie. I'll see you in the next one, fam. And as always, shouting out the Patreons who keep things running here. If you want to support us, please check out patreon.com/modernretroshow, starting with the Chancellors, Wowder, Chris H, Jump with E, Need You, Blue Tech, Phoenix, Laughin' Jackal, Electra James, The Principals, James R, Spacey Doodle, Elena G, Ulrike, Mick, Clement, Vijandra, Murika Kairi, Alan, Chad, Alex, Lauren, Aaron Shepard, Chris, Dallas Seeger, Freeman, Nathan, Rasmus, and Tommy F. I've been Teacher Eddie, and I'll see you next time.